It's a good-looking Dallas club. They've been playing real well last few weeks, winning games and getting the running back. They look well-rounded. It's been a common theme for, it seems like a month now, that the teams we're playing have a similar formula, that they're all committed to the run. They play solid defense and they're good on special teams, and these guys are all of that. We've seen quarterback play and running back play. We've seen a lot of good stuff. So. This game is going to be a great challenge, and going to their place. It's a game that they have to have, a game that we have to have, and so we're going for it.
How have you seen the guys bounce back just from Sunday?
We're rolling. Today we're out there going and rolling. So they have no choice. We have to bounce them, and everybody seems tuned into it and focused on it, and realized again whatever happened last week, we still had to win this week. It doesn't. It's the same. It's really the same scenario. Every one of these games are must games and championship ops. So that's how we're facing it, and they seem to realize that too.
Nichols turned out to be a really good gunner for you in your special teams. Is that hard to find in the NFL? Or?
I think he's a unique player. He's got a combination. He's got good strength. He's a big corner. He's really fast, and he's got a great attitude. His motor for chasing down the field, 50 yards to make a play, is so consistent. Whether he's in the kickoff game, or coverage game, or the punt coverage game, but as a gunner, he's a fantastic player. Yeah, he's done a great job for us.
Is that hard to find though at the NFL level, or have you found that to be
it's hard to find guys that really consistently keep showing up. I mean, there's a lot of guys can make plays, but it's the guys that can keep making plays, and you're dealing with a real guy when you prepare. And Nico's one of those guys. I think he stands out. He's one of the handful of guys that really do clearly stand out as a special guy, covering kicks.
What's the other side of that though? Because I think on Sunday they were able to double team him a little bit. When you do reach the level that he's reached, how easy is it to take him, to try to isolate him and get him out of?
You have to double him. They have to. That happens every week. I mean, he's one of those guys, and we face guys that are like that as well. Guys that are really productive, and it's hard to do more than double them. So that's basically what he has to deal with, and that's kind of just normal for him, and that's what he's counting on.
Does how they use Elliott compare to anything that you've seen the last couple of weeks in terms of the running game?
No, they have a real strong commitment to the run game, a good, diverse run game, and they haven't changed that much. I don't see much change at all. It's really a good variety of things that they believe in. Their guards can get out, they can pull and get out on the edge, they can zone block. They do some stuff up inside that's good too, and I don't see any variance really.
What's unique about his running style?
He's really fast for a big guy. He's got a real good burst, and the strength allows him to run through tackles. He's a good tackle breaker. But I think the thing that's most unique is his burst for his size.
Do you think the fact he hasn't played in 6 weeks is a factor one way or the other?
I think he'll be really fired up to play football. Yeah, I think he's got to be about as hungry as you can get.
Is that a wild card though, not knowing endurance? How much?
We'll see. I would think he'll handle it. It sounds like he did everything he could to work out and get in shape and all that. We'll find out.
For your guys' run defense, you had that long stretch from, I think, week 4 until a couple weeks ago where nobody was getting anything on you. Just what do you need to clean up that you've seen the last couple of
weeks? It's always the same themes, John. We have to play really disciplined, and then we have to tackle really well, and that's the running game, And it isn't about being a hard-nosed, tough guy. That ain't it. You have to do right, and you have to do things right, play after play. And the better the team is, the more they take advantage of your mistakes, and so you have to just be errorless, That's how you have to go about it. We made some misses, and some reads and some things that could be a lot sharper, and it just leads to easy yardage for them, and good running backs take advantage of that.
Are Bobby and KJ practicing today?
Yes.
So KJ's totally clear?
He's clear, yeah.
Did you have to?
That feels good, too. I'm going to tell you, it feels good to have those guys out there. Those guys have been, just stalwarts for us for a long time, and to get those guys back out there, it feels good.
Did you have to address the Bobby Earl thing that we saw on Twitter Sunday night at all?
They took care of it. They a couple, I don't know, the day, 2 days ago, whenever. They've already dealt with it.
Is Wagner limited, or is he able to go full? Or?
He's going at the practice tempo that we're going at, and see, he did the walkthroughs just now. We'll see how we can do this afternoon.
Does the course of this year feel more like a grind than maybe the last 3, 4, 5 years?
I don't know about the grind. I mean, it's always a grind. I don't know that it's any different in that regard. When you lose a couple games in a row, it's no fun. You know, that's different. And we rarely have been in that situation. And so, you know, that's what you're expressing what it feels like. Yeah, we're grinding right now. We got to grind our way back into a win.
Earl's always been very candid. He's kind of doesn't really have a filter when you ask him anything. Do you have a problem with that at all? Like him just kind of speaking his mind no matter what the content is?
No, it's his. You know, he's a grown man. You know, but we all have a thought that we're always protecting the team. You know, and that rule number one in the program is pretty powerful, and so we want to do a nice job with what we say and all that. You know, and thoughtful and respectful and all. Sometimes, you know, I do it too. We all make mistakes sometimes with how we express ourselves, and the main thing is that you get back to the truth and you amend and you fix things.
Did you think that was a mistake? What he said?
No, he had a pretty strong opinion about something. That's all. I think he meant well. I don't think he did anything but mean well, and that's all.
Looking at some positives with Earl and Bobby, 2 out of the 4 guys named to the Pro Bowl this year, just the recognition that those players are receiving.
Yeah, those guys continue to be recognized by their peers, and it's a really it's a wonderful statement that that they're that far out there that they continue to go back, and it's a real source of pride for the individual guys, and it's also for the guys that play around you, that your guys are there, and to have 8 guys recognized, in some consideration is good again, and real happy for them.
You talked about the discipline and gap discipline and run defense. How can just having Wagner and Wright back and somewhat healthier change that, fix that part?
Well, there's a couple things that happen. One, when the really experienced guys are out there, sometimes they make up for the mistakes, and there's always errors in there somewhere, and they have a sense for it and an ability to know that a guy's not where he's supposed to be at times when he's hitting the blocking scheme, and they can adapt and fix it. That's part of it. But also the calls and the continuity and the communications and all of that will help us. Those guys are really, really good at it, and they keep guys around them playing better, just because of their experience.
Does Rod Smith sort of look like what you thought he might when you guys had him here for a little while? Or?
I think he's done really well. It's great that he's had the chance to play and get some good looks. We liked him. John, as soon as it happened, we were hoping to get him back, and we didn't get it back. He got scooped up, and John's always kicked himself about that one because we liked him a lot.
How has Michael Bennett held up as much as he's had to play?
He is holding up. He's dealing with issues every week that are keeping him from practicing on a regular basis. He's not been able to. I just was with him on the way out here, and he's not going to be able to go this afternoon. He can get through the walkthroughs, but he can't go, and he's got a little swollen knee that continues to kind of pester him, but he can make it to game day and play, and unfortunately that's the way he's working through it. He's played a lot this year, and he's handled it well, although he is banged up during the week, and we get him to game time.
Has that affected his pass rush, do you think?
Whenever you don't practice, I think it affects you somewhere, and whether it's in the running game or in the passing game, it's all about being strict and disciplined, and those are habits, and those are the ones that are formed in your practice, and so it tends to affect guys when they go, particularly for long periods of time when they don't get to practice. It's just hard to keep all of the fundamentals in line and straight, and so they have to work their tail off to make up for it the best they can.
You're missing the veteran leadership, like on defense for these guys. How does it work in the game in terms of making the calls and learning who to trust about?
I don't think it's who to trust. It's just clarity. Clarity and succinct and precise and timely communications that you've developed over time. Through the awareness and the savvy and all of that, the experience of it. That you can expect it to happen, but it's not going to quite be like a guy who's played 6 or 7 years for you, and he knows everything, and he can see it all coming, and he can anticipate it, and he can help those around him. So there's going to be a little bit of loss of that edge right there, and you just got to hope you overcome it. And that's, there's nothing much you can do about that, but just try to make it as sharp as you can. But Bobby and KJ are fantastic football players in our scheme, and they know stuff so well that they do help others sometimes it's not the verbal communication. It could be a pat on the butt to move a guy. It can be just a a gesture, that they can make and make somebody understand what's going on. And those are they're kind of hard to value, but they are there, and they are very, very important.
How much do you anticipate Chris Carson being able to do for you this week, if anything?
He's not going today. They're not able to. He's not able to go today in practice, is what I know. So we'll see about tomorrow. We're going really day to day with him right now.
How much of a benefit, if he can play, in evaluating him next year and beyond, will it be for you to get him out there now? Does that mean
It'd be great. He'd love to play. He would love to be out there playing ball. We saw a lot from Chris. We thought we had a good evaluation on him. He'd just be more experienced. He'd just learn more and all of that. But I don't think if he got 3 or 4 games in right now, it'd make a difference. If it was just one game, and that's all you get back for whenever this happens, I don't think that's the real. It's going to make that much difference. He's a good football player. We know that, and we miss him, tremendously. And wish, but he'll have plenty of time to come back around with preseason and all that kind of stuff if we get him back next year.
Is there a small part of you kicking yourself for not going to Mike Davis earlier?
Well, the way he's turned out, he's done well, So some I don't mind telling you that. I would like to see him been in the mix a little earlier because he's done well when he's had his chances. But the other guys had their shots too, and they deserve their shots because they worked hard to get those.
Did Carson show you long enough he would be the lead back next season?
Well, let's wait and see. Let's let that competition take care of that. We don't have to call that right now, but I know we're real excited about what he brings. There's some uniqueness to the way he reads things and the way he explodes when he sees the line of scrimmage that really separated him at times, from guys. And so we all saw it. You were at practices, you watched it, and in the games he showed that too. So, but we'll let the competition settle that.
You mentioned Wagner and Bennett, and go back to last year stuff with Russell Wilson. Is it maybe underappreciated what these guys go through to be out there every week?
Yeah. I don't think anybody, the lay people can understand how hard it is. This is a very challenging game physically, mentally as well. But the physical part of it is just, it's extraordinary. And particularly as you add up the years, and you add up all the plays and the reps that you've taken and all. These guys are real warriors. They are modern day warriors. They're doing stuff that normal people can't do. And it's their love of the game, it's their background, it's their makeup, it's the nature that they have, that they bring that allows them to keep overcoming and bouncing back, and the resilience that they need to demonstrate. I've always marveled at it and respected the heck out of it.
Where do Eddie Lacy and Thomas Rawls kind of fit in right now, or
We'll
do
see.
they don't?
We'll see this week. They'll be battling for this week.
What does Shed need to show you in practice? What else is?
Yeah, this is his 3rd week, and this is a big week for him. This is his chance to just get back to full speed in everything that he's doing. His heart and his mind is there. He's working hard in practice. He's able to practice with us. He's just got to get back to full tempo and make sure that he's safe in that and solidly back. And it's been a long haul for him. He's done everything. He's just remarkably applied himself to the situation, and he's really frustrated that he's not right there yet. He wants to be on the field this week, and so we're just going day to day with him, and we'll keep watching it.
Getting him back on the field, does that help his, I don't know if it's mental state or something, going into the offseason, just to help quell some of those frustrations?
Yeah, there's no question it would. He's so desperate to play. There's nobody that's demonstrated that more so than him. And I just marvel at the kid. And so we'll see. We're hoping that he can do that.
When you signed Eddie Lacy, obviously you hoped you would get different than what you've gotten out of him. Why don't you think that's worked out?
It just hasn't. It hasn't for us. I don't know, for a number of reasons. I think the rhythm never was demonstrated. The opportunities, never enough of them. It just never really fit together. And we also had competition at the spot. 2 other guys that we were trying to see and trying to work through. I wish it had been more clear. But you guys know we went through that. We talked through every week of it. Okay, we're going to go these guys and see what they can do and see if we can get something to declare. And I think Mike Davis was the guy that really declared it when he had his chances, more so than anybody else, for whatever reason.
How do you get Jimmy Graham back going after the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, we just had 2 weeks of the ball not getting there, and the plays haven't amounted to much. We just didn't convert. We haven't been in the red zone like we like, where he's been such a factor. But there's no reason to think that we're trying. We want to, and we're counting on him being a big part of it this week. It's going to be important to get him in there.
Anything else?